Hello and welcome to my channel. This story is What If Naruto Got Reincarnated into My Little Pony Part 3. If you like this story, please consider liking and subscribing. Now let's begin this fanfic, shall we? We start of in Canterlot, where we see a massive royal palace. Inside this palace is the royal chambers, and we see three ponies peacefully sleeping. The young filly named Naruto eyes were currently fluttering open, revealing amethyst eyes under mesmerizing white eyelashes. Naruto was a very shy filly, and when he woke up he couldn't help but have an atomic blush on his face. Naruto was in a situation he wasn't prepared for. Somehow, while he was sleeping, he had ended up being squished between two princesses that were extremely beautiful. Had a luscious manner that constantly moved even when she was asleep. She also had a beautiful tail of the same rainbow color as her manner. It also moved with an ethereal grace. The same mare also had a pure white coat of fur fitting that of royalty. She also had a cutie mark of a sun. This mare, known as Princess Celestia, was currently on one side of the shy filly. Celestia rested her head above Naruto's and legs wrapped around one side of him. The other mare princess on the opposite was Princess Mi Amore Cadenza. She had a beautiful manner and tail consisting of an array of mesmerizing colors. She also had a beautiful coat of pink fur, with a heart-shaped diamond cutie mark. Cadence was currently tightly wrapped around Naruto, and she was also resting her head. Next, where Naruto's lay, Cadence's was so closer he could feel her warm breath on his ears, making blush more. Shrinking into himself, Naruto was too shy to try to move. All he could do was stay there. He was also too kind. He didn't want to wake up the beautiful mare, who was so kind to him. Naruto adjusted himself a bit, but this caused Cadence and Celestia to move. Candace pulled Naruto's head into her chest while snuggling her face into the top of Naruto's head, making him squeal in surprise. Celestia positioned herself with her back legs intertwined with Naruto's, and she used her front legs to pull herself into Naruto. Celestia's hoofs unconsciously rested near Naruto's bottom, making almost pass out from her touch. While this went on, Celestia moved her head to the back of Naruto's head and her warm breath caressed Naruto's fur, making him pass out from shyness and embarrassment. Time skip 3 hours. Princess Celestia groggily fluttered her eyes open. She had to start raising the sun and lowering the moon. Celestia started to move but realized she was in an embarrassing position. She was wrapped around the young filly, cuddling him. It brought an extremely bright blush to the mare's face, but she didn't want to wake the young filly Naruto, so Celestia carefully used her magic to slowly unwrap herself from around Naruto, and placed him back on the bed. She also looked to the filly's side to see Cadence cuddling up to Naruto again, and she allowed a small smile to grace her lips. Princess Celestia then walked quietly in order to not make too much noise to wake the mare and filly, and left her royal chambers to attend to her royal duties. Time skip 2. Cadence wasn't usually a morning pony, but today was different. When she woke up, she found herself next to her darling Naruto. Cadence was elated. Ever since Cadance and Princess Celestia found the young filly Naruto, Cadence has never been so heart-struck. The first sight of Naruto in Cadence's eyes was pure love for her. Cadence couldn't stop looking at the young filly she was wrapped around. She felt pure love for him. Cadence ran a hoof down Naruto's manner. She couldn't get over how cute and mysterious he looked. In Cadence's eyes, Naruto was going to be extremely handsome when he was older. Maybe he would be a model, she thought. Cadence blushed, imaging a grown-up Naruto. Then Cadence noticed Naruto twitch a bit. She saw Naruto's stunning eyelashes flutter as he opened his eyes. She also saw Naruto blush when he saw Cadence muzzle to muzzle with him. Cadence smiles a warm smile on her lips and said, "Good morning, darling." Naruto blushed when he heard the name she called him, and shyly said morning. Cadence couldn't help but scream kawaii as she squeezed him into her. Naruto couldn't help but blush even more. Cadence wouldn't stop bear hugging Naruto for 10 minutes. Cadence had finally let the timid Naruto down, and said, "Darling, are you ready for breakfast?" Naruto's belly grumbled, as he shyly nodded. Cadence giggled at him and said, "Okay, darling, let's go to the dining hall." They both climbed off the bed, and started making their way to the dining hall. On the way, Naruto couldn't help but marvel at the scenery of the palace. He also saw other ponies, unicorns, pagazi, and griffins in odd clothing, cleaning the halls, and stuff. Naruto shyly asked Cadence, "Who are they cc Cadence?" Cadence looked to Naruto and said, "Those are the butlers and maids that tend to the castle's maintenance, and they also bring the foods and drinks to the dining halls when the cooking ponies have finished the dishes." Naruto nodded, and they carried on walking in silence, until they arrived at the dining hall. 2 unicorn guards that were standing guard at the dining hall doors saw Cadence and used their magic to open the doors. The 2 guards also bowed as Naruto and Cadence walked past into the dining hall. Naruto saw Celestia already sitting at the end of the table. When Celestia saw Cadence and Naruto walk in, she smiled and said, "Come on, you two, sit and we will eat." Naruto walked and sat next to Celestia, and Cadence sat opposite Naruto and next to Celestia. Naruto saw all kinds of foods on the table. There were daisy sandwiches, oranges, wheat, hay, apples, oats, corn, and various other flowers and fruits. All 3 of the alicorns started to eat. Time skip 1. Our Naruto was in the palace's gardens with Cadence and some guards protecting them. Naruto was laying on the ground admiring nature and looking into the sky. When Naruto was in the place known as the Ever-Free Forest, he never really got to enjoy going outside due to the monsters, and he only ever got to see the sky once. Naruto looked around him and saw a massive garden with beautiful trees of different species. He also saw multiple types of flower beds, as well as a well full of water. When Naruto looked to the side of him, he saw Cadence laying down next to him. Ever since Naruto was found by Celestia and Cadence, Cadence had never left Naruto's side. It warmed his heart, but he didn't know why. Naruto just smiled as he looked at Cadence. When Cadence saw Naruto looking at her, she thought she would tease him, so she said, "Oh Naruto, what are you looking at? Do I have something on my face?" Naruto blushed out of embarrassment and turned away timidly. Cadence giggled and said, "Naruto, do you want me to show you around the palace?" Naruto nodded, and they headed around the palace. Time skip 1 hour. Naruto and Cadence arrived at the library. This was the last place Cadence had to show to finish the tour. Cadence opened the library doors, but what she saw was not a clean library. She saw books scattering the floor, with a purple unicorn laying down reading a book she had in her hoofs. Cadence signed and said, "Twilight, what have me and Celestia said about putting books back after you finish them?" The filly unicorn known as Twilight looked to the door's entrance and saw her filly sitter Princess Cadence. Twilight chose to ignore what Cadence said and ran over to her to start doing their super secret handshake. They both start saying, "Sunshine, sunshine, ladybugs awake, clap your hooves and do a little shake, we're best friends. Yeah, sunshine, sunshine, ladybugs awake, sunshine, sunshine, ladybugs awake. Yeah, sunshine, sunshine, ladybugs awake, sunshine, sunshine, ladybugs awake. Yeah, sunshine, sunshine, ladybugs awake." While they did this, they clapped their hoofs together. When they finished, they both smiled at each other and Twilight looked to the side curiously. While her and Cadence were doing their handshake, she saw from the corner of her eye a filly around the same age as her. Twilight asked, "Princess Cadence, who is this?" Cadence said, "If you haven't met him yet, have you? This is Naruto. He is an unicorn just like me and Princess Celestia. We found him when we were exploring a magical phenomenon, and brought him back to the palace with us." Twilight was shocked, with her mouth hanging to the ground. From all the books she has read on Equestria, there are only supposed to be 3 alicorns: Princess Celestia, Princess Luna, who no one knows where she had gone, and Princess Cadence, who was turned into an alicorn by Princess Celestia. And to further Twilight's shock, this filly looked like a boy, and from the sound of his name it confirmed it. Twilight, with a speed no unicorn should have, was inspecting Naruto. Cadence saw Twilight jumping and observing all around Naruto, getting in his face and all. Cadence also saw Naruto blushing up a storm, while he was under the gaze of the amethyst-colored filly. When Twilight had finished her observations, she walked back to Cadence with a smile while leaving a blushing Naruto stumbling with swirls in his eyes. Cadence giggled and walked to Naruto and leaned down to Naruto's height and used her head and place it under Naruto's neck to steady his balance and to gain his bearing, but Naruto couldn't stop the blush from appearing on his face. When Cadence lifted herself back up, she looked into Naruto's eyes and smiled and said, "Don't worry, that's just how Twilight is." Naruto nodded shyly. Cadence said, "Why, we all go to the gardens and get to know each other." She looked at both the fillies. Naruto nodded apprehensive, and Twilight asked if she could bring some books. Cadence nodded and said, "Yes, you can, Twilight. Gather some books and we can all walk to the gardens." Twilight smiled and searched for some books too. She used her magic to pick them up, and when she was ready she walked over to Cadence and Naruto. Cadence smiled and said to both the fillies, "Let's go, shall we?" All 3 of the ponies walked to the gardens together. Time skip 6 hours. In the dining room, Princess Celestia, Princess Cadence, Princess Twilight, and Naruto were all sitting down in the dining hall eating. As Naruto was eating, he thought back to when he was in the garden with Cadence and Twilight. He smiled. Over the hours they were with each other, Naruto had gotten to know a lot about both Twilight and Cadence. He learned that Cadence was a princess of her own kingdom, and that she had studied at the Canterlot Academy. Naruto also learned that Twilight is the current personal student of Celestia and is currently in the Princess Celestia School for Gifted Unicorns. But Naruto was released from his thought when he heard Princess Celestia say, "So Naruto, I was thinking, would you like to join my school for gifted unicorns? You won't have to do an entrance exam since you will be specially admitted by me. While you're not in the school, I can teach you how to fly with your wing." Naruto nodded shyly. Celestia smiled towards Naruto. She thought to herself, "Hopefully he can make friends with Twilight and some other unicorns. I know Twilight only cares about books and studying, but it would do her some good to make friends. And with Naruto being in the school with her, maybe Naruto would open up to making friends too, if his shyness doesn't get in the way, that is." When the 2 ponies and 2 fillies had finished eating, it was getting late and Celestia had to leave to raise the moon and lower the sun. Twilight left for her bedroom chambers and Cadence walked with Naruto to Cadence's room. Naruto questioned Cadence when they arrived at her bedroom chambers, and said, "UMC Cadence, aren't I supposed to sleep in my bed?" Cadence smiled at Naruto and said nope, and used her magic to pick Naruto you and. Cadence opened her door and closed it behind her. She walked over to her massive bed and climbed onto it and lay down and placed Naruto on top of her. While she was doing this, she had a blush dust her cheeks. Naruto couldn't help but blush the whale time when Naruto was on top of her. He placed his head into her neck, resting, as his eyelids drooped from tiredness, and he fell asleep. Cadence was smiling. She couldn't help but be happy her darling was on top of her again. It made her so happy to cuddle with him this way. Cadence fell asleep with a massive smile as she embraced her darling through the night. The end. Thank you for watching. This is the end of the video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Also, if you have any questions, please ask in the comments, or look in my description. Peace.